So I had some problems in my real life, and I ended up getting signed up to a partial hospitalization program because I wasn't bad enough to get admitted. And there's 10 things I did, I found that were funny during all this. Now, I'm going to try to do confidentially as best as I can, but then again, I'm really good at that. So number 10 is pretty jarring because this is a jar. You you made rocks in here and said how much time you spent on everything else. It's like I already know I spent a bunch of time on YouTube already. It just felt like I was back in preschool. Like, all right, write in this jar. Like, here's a little jar you can write. I know he's trying to make it a little more fun, but it just reminded me of preschool. Not gonna lie. They had colored pencils there, too. But anyway, that was a little chuckle, because it's number 10. Number 9 is the big chair. All these have code names, because I wrote them on this paper. While I made them not so obvious. So if they saw what I was writing, they didn't know what I was up to. So number 9 is a big chair. They had this huge chair in the corner, and my first day there, I'm like I wanted to sit in it. So I ended up sitting in it. And the rest of the time there, I just had this huge chair. It was like the size of like 2 chairs without, because the normal chairs were gonna be a tighter fit on me because I got some bones on me, and I was just chilling in this room. Like everyone's in regular chairs, I'm in this huge chair, so that's pretty funny. But number 8. Over positivity, sincere. So that code name is for one of the staff members that was extremely over positive. He was like whenever someone started talking about something like really deep, he'd just be like, "Man, deep." Like at one point, he's like. Someone was getting really down with like a lot of negative stuff. He changed the subject. He's like, "Oh, we'll go back to that." Like it was so like this guy is like he's a therapist, but he likes to keep the conversations light. Oh, I totally forgot about one of the things. But I'll make sure I'll say it. I'll make sure I say it for the honorable mention. It'll be a special honorable mention. So it'll be the best honorable mention out of the honorable mention. This is just a list. Like, I've already stopped this recording like 3 times. I am not going back for one thing. Alright? You will enjoy this. I asked like another staff member, is he sincere or is he just being really sarcastic? Because he had an accident, sadly, and like he just like it's hard for him to pronounce stuff. So, but he was very sincere about stuff. I'll just do the one honorable mention and just tweak it inside the others. If I would have put it, if I would have originally put it on this list, I will. That is where I would have put it. So things changed in life. So number 7 is jelly still there. So I was eating peanut butter and jelly every day. And some of the jelly one day dripped on the floor. It was like my 4th day, 4th or 5th or 5th or 6th, something like that. And the staff member said, "Oh, they'll get it." Well, they never did. It was drying down there, like my last day. Literally, it was drying down there. Like no one cleaned the floor at all. So that's what jelly still there means. Number 6, this story. Not this story, another story. This was the original piece of paper I doodled on of all the things I wanted to talk about. And this story goes, I walk down the street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I am in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Like, there's a whole metaphor to this, but I said it in class, or whatever it was called, like group therapy. I'm like, why didn't you just cross on the side of the road? And he was like, you've never been where there's only one sidewalk? And I'm like, no. He's told me to get out more. And I'm like, yeah, tell that to my dad. But anyway, yeah, but the whole metaphor is, if you keep making the same mistake and saying it isn't your fault, that's not good. You gotta learn from your mistakes. That was the whole metaphor to it. But it's still really funny to me. Number 5, Grandma Hancock or Hancock or what? Grandma handicap parking. So this is just my grandma. She would thank her for taking me to it like almost every day. And I saw her parked in the handicapped. She has nothing physically wrong with her. And she told me she was using my dead grandpa's handicap sign to be able to park a little farther. I'm like, unbelievable. This is my family. And she's like, don't tell anyone. I'm like, I won't. Like, you don't know who my grandma is. You're not going to report her to the police. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, why the fuck would you do that, Grandma? Like, what's your problem? Like, you don't want to park? She did get a new car. That's probably why. She wanted away from all the other cars, so she parked in the handicap. So that's probably why. Okay, it's a little less funny now, but it makes more sense on her. So I'm not slandering her good name. You know what I mean? Number 4 is Steve. This is an actual person. Like, on my latter half, my 8th, I'd say my 9th day. No, my 8th day. 8th and 9th day, I started this joke about how my name was Steve. Maybe it started 7th, because I said my name was Steve instead of Billy in the group. But I, kept that going. And then the day 8, I'm like, some new people came in, and he was confused. He's like, is it Steve or Billy? I'm like, it's Billy. I'm just saying Steve. But I took it I took it so seriously on the on the 10th try, the 10th day. I mean, 10th day, I sat down. I'm like, I want every one of you to refer to me as Steve, and I'm no longer Billy. And I said, I'll come back Monday as Steve and have a totally different life story. And they're like, they'll just throw you in the mental hospital at that point. And there's actually a thing called dissociative personality disorder, I believe. It's not, borderline personality disorder is not actually that. Because I have a friend that has borderline personality disorder. It's different. Dissociative, I think that's what he called it. But, yeah, so, that whole day, I actually started getting annoyed with my own joke, and I'm like, okay, I'm annoyed with it. People start calling me Steve. I'm like, I'm kind of over the joke already. So that was kind of funny. And then one of the staff members, I explained the joke to her, Like, she's like, "Oh, is your name Steve?" Like, it's just such a stupid joke, but that's sometimes the best jokes. They're just so stupid. They're funny. So number 3 is there was a guy who it's called Crying Over My Story. So there was a guy who I totally I went through a lot of my stuff, like my problems. It was like the first day, and just like talking about everything. And he started crying, and he needed to get out of the room. And like, yeah, I'm not taking like, I'm not belittling a man for crying. Like that's, how do I say it? It's healthy to cry when you need to and all that, but what makes it funny is because I was just like, man, my life is so bad that made a grown man cry, and then so that's the funniest part about it. It's like a self-deprecated humor. Like, my life is so bad, I made someone cry over it. Like, I didn't say grown man cry, I added it to this video for an emphasis. But I mean, I'll get to more of him in a little bit. There's more to the story, but I want to leave it at that. My life's just so fucking bad. Life's so shitty. It made him cry. It made me cry. We'll see about that. We'll see how much sympathy you give him after my story. If you've been watching my channel, you probably know about this guy. There's a little hint. Don't stop watching this video though. Like, you might forget to watch the whole thing. But anyway, number 2. So it's just cereal. On his first day, this guy came in, and he's like, "Oh man, my mom's obsessive over things. She bought me 50 boxes of cereal." Instant joke. That everyone laughed. I'm like, that is hilarious. Like, I'm sorry he has to go through that in his life, but like, that's just so ridiculous that it's fucking comedy gold. It's like, he said he'll take a picture if you want the proof. I'm like, you better give me that proof, bro. The next day, he was down to 12 boxes. He's like giving it away so much. He's trying to give it away. He's even asking group members if they want any cereal. This is like, I don't know, man. Looking at this whole thing, this might be the number 1, but I already made the list, so fuck it. I'm not gonna change anything. But I'll come up with a bullshit reason that number 1 is number 1. You know what I mean? But yeah, that running joke was good for like it was like almost every day we made a cereal joke. Like, I was like, your mom better start buying you other things to eat. like I don't know. I'm a very situational comedian, and like, I just react to things around me. And I know what you're thinking. If you see my stand-ups, I'm like, why do you read from a notebook? Because it's a bar. No one's actually there to like interact with you too much. So, but anyway, that's it. It's just cereal. Oh my gosh. It's not even good cereal. He got tired of it. Like if he started adding his own cereal to like, it's not even good cereal. It's Special K. Like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? But number 1, mandatory but not. Alright. Maybe I made this number 1 for a good reason. We'll see. But, oh wait. Before I say that, honorable mentions. Totally forgot. Alright, honorable mentions. Attractive staff. There was an attractive staff member there. He was hot as fuck. I was getting giddy and jokey with him. Yep. Anyway, I guess that was funnier at the time, the first day or something. Number 2, okay, so, like I said, I'm trying to keep confidentiality, but who's gonna know somebody just by their first name? Like, there's so many Johns out there, there's so many Steves out there. Like, so, I'm gonna allow the first name, okay? They're not gonna, there's no way they're gonna find out who this is. I felt really bad about that. Like, I couldn't sleep like one night. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna say the name of them. But there's a joke to this. So, there was a Penny in our group, and there was a Rich in our group. Not only that, Penny worked at a bank, and Rich was not rich. I asked, hey, are you rich? I'm like, you know, because his name's Rich. Like, the staff member was like, oh my gosh, you don't do that. But I'm like, I do that. I joke about everything. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just want to know if Rich is rich and Penny is poor. Penny is not poor, by the way. So, yeah, there's a lot of that in group, like, back and forth with that hot guy. Yes, back and forth jokes. I let it all fly. I joked about people eating animals, or racism, Nazism, stuff I joke about on the channel, like the shit that's the people in the city aren't used to. So yeah, and I'll be like, I'm a country boy. I say whatever. I guess I could. That's an honorable mention too. I'm a country boy. I think everything's funny. I didn't say it like that, but yeah, it's true. Okay, this one is another honorable mention. Move on. We talked about cows, or like the what it is to be scared of a cow. Like, a lot of it was just this group was kind of bullshit. Not in a, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I mean, stuff that didn't even matter. He tried to keep it fun, but also talk about stuff that's important. So he made it fun. Okay, to be fair, he made it fun. I can't go back and change what I said. This is a live recording, okay? Or not live, but I'm live right now as I'm recording. Because when you watch it, it won't be a live recording anymore. But anyway, so yeah, I made the joke, move on, and everyone started laughing. It's an honorable mention for a reason. It wasn't that funny, but calling bosses jerks. Oh yeah, this staff member straight up called his coworkers assholes for never giving him an employee of the month. He straight up called his bosses assholes. Oh my gosh, he had a lot of pent up frustration over his job. He'd always be like, they just hired me off the street because he's been a therapist before, and they won't let him be a therapist with his title. But anyway, yeah, he straight up just called his bosses assholes. It's one thing if you say that behind closed doors, at your home with friends, but he straight up said that at his work. I'm like, what the fuck? Unbelievable. Okay, so this is number one. Like I said, number one is mandatory but not. So when I started this program, this guy was like, this is the person that runs the group, one of the groups, he was like even before I even started, it was the day before when we were getting a feel of it. He's like, it is an optional group, but then I realized that if I ended the group early and they didn't sign off on that, that meant I lost all of my help. All of my help that I had, my therapist and my psychologist, but he kept saying it's an optional program. Like, what? I was forced to do it. I went to the ER, and they signed me up for it, and it's not optional. I love my therapist and my psychologist. I love my team. I'm not... Why would I? Because for some reason they think if you don't need this, you don't need the help. We're not going to give you the supports. I'm like, because whenever I went into the program, they switched my psychiatrist for 9 days to their psychiatrist, and I didn't get to go to my therapist. I went to the therapy there, the group therapy. So that's double dipping. You can't double dip with your insurance. So, for real, this guy was telling me it was optional for me to just fuck up my entire life. It's like... It's like, it might as well have been court mandated that I went to this program, because... It's not mandatory, but it is. If you don't want your nuts chopped off, then you might as well just stick it out, bro. if you don't want your family to fucking die, might as well stick it out. I'm being over exaggerated for comedy. Yeah, they didn't threaten my parents or anything. It just was unbelievable. And like one time he was like I said something was boring, and he was like, I could sign you out now. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I thought I needed to complete the program. I could sign you out now. I'm like, you know I can't fucking quit. Like, I guess some of the funniest stuff comes from trauma or comes from anger. This is how I'm pitching this as number one. Because him saying it's not mandatory, but so much shit I'll lose because of it. It's just, what the fuck? It's not mandatory. It's just not mandatory. Like, I'll never forget that. It's kind of like, you can sign out if you want, but there's snipers on the building ready to snipe you down. But hey, it was it helped me in some places in my life. I got some coping skills. I learned some stuff about stuff I've been doing, like wrong thinking I've been doing that has been making me miserable. So it's really helped. So yeah. Anyway, well, I thought I had more to say than that, but I got distracted. And then I'm like, there's not really much more to say anyway. Like, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, please... Oh, hold on! Before we end, I totally forgot. Our bonus. This is our bonus honorable mention. Okay. God bless America. So, one of the staff members used to work with some shitty customers, and instead of yelling at them and swearing at them, he would say, God bless America. And everyone just thought he was really patriotic. But he was literally, like, when he was mad at someone, instead of, like, calling him an asshole, you'd be like, God bless America. I guess it's kind of like, when people, like, maybe he's saying, God bless America, God help America, because these people, like, secretly. This is really clever, like, if you think about it. He's just, oh, God bless America. And then he started saying it in group, but he changed the meaning to it to be like, when he doesn't know what to say or whatever, he just still says it. But that's what the meaning was back then for it. So, yeah, that's pretty funny. I don't know. Where would I put it on this list? I'd actually put it at number... number 5. Bump everything down in mayonnaise jar would become an honorable mention. There you go. God bless America. I wasn't saying fuck you all or anything. I just wanted to say it because of the joke. Trust me, if I wanted to tell you off, I'd tell you off the old-fashioned way. If you enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you when you watch me again, metaphorically.